Hello and welcome back to the Spin Rock Podcast. I'm your host Angel, and with me today is my co-host.
Vaughn, and only Vaughn today.
All right. Well, we do have a segment that we've done before in the past, but we're kind of changing it up a little bit for All Star Weekend. But there is some news we want to get into. I think we should start from the smallest news to the biggest news, even though all everything we planned is kind of a big deal. Starting with Dylan Brooks, broke his left hand. I don't know how long he's out for. Do you know how long he's out for?
At least a month.
A month. Yeah, so um, kind of a blow to the Suns. How do you feel about this one? Do you think the Suns can still hold in their playing spot without Dylan Brooks?
It sounds so strange because I don't historically I've not liked the man, but wherever he goes, he's a big part of the culture. Like the Grizzlies were a two seed when he was there. He helped the Rockets finally get into playoff positioning, and the Suns honestly should have been, a lottery team or even a certified play-in team.
Mm-hmm.
But for most of this year, they've been in, that playoff zone. And now that he's out and they're kind of on a slip inside, like they're 5-5 in their last 10,
Mm-hmm.
they're probably going to go to that original area of like play in. I want to say lottery team would be extreme, but you never know, especially in the Western Conference. And man, this man has like such a underrated impact defensively and just intensity. And he's goofy. I'll always see him as goofy, but like this year especially, the stats speak for themselves. He is that 20-point scorer that they thought Bradley Beal was going to be, and he wasn't. So he's been a revelation for the Suns, and it definitely hurts them. Like this may reshape how playoffs turn out in the Western Conference.
Yeah, bro, it's kind of crazy how much of an impact he has. Like, I feel like he's probably one of the most hated players in the league right now, just by fans and not necessarily like actual NBA players. Um, which is kind of funny. He's always every time he gets traded, people are like, "Oh, he's gonna be out of the league soon. He's um, bench warmer. Here comes the downfall," and then he just ends up doing the complete opposite, and he makes a team he gets traded to significantly better than they were before. The Suns have been so dookie. Like for the past 2 years, they've been in and out of play-ins, kind of fighting below that poverty line. Um, and then now, Dylan Brooks is here, and like Vaughn said, they've been kind of in and out, but like they haven't really fallen more below than six. Like I'm sure there was times where they were below 6 seed, but lately it's been fifth and sixth is like the seed they've been for a majority of the year. And so for him to go out for a month, especially so right after All Star break, where the games kind of start to matter again, because I feel like people always say the games don't matter in December and January. Um, Now that we're getting closer to the end of the season, the games are mattering again. Teams are made those pushes to become a better team. The trades are done, and everyone is like, "This is the team we want to be able to go to the playoffs with." It's like, are the Suns gonna suffer at all because is the West just the West is a cannibalized league like side of the league, like you need every win you can get in the Western Conference. And so with Dylan Brooks out, are the Suns gonna fall out of that playing spot? Are they gonna hold on for dear life until he gets back? Like how that's gonna look for them. Um, but yeah, I just think it's wild, bro. That like every time you count out Dylan Brooks, he really doesn't like diminish, and he always does level up a team, and it's kind of wild because I feel like there's nothing that he's that good at. He's kind of like a Pat Bev kind of guy, but like with the talent to actually back up the smack talk. All right. And then the other second piece of news, which is probably a really big bombshell, is Chris Paul has officially retired. I think last time we met, the news hasn't dropped yet, and we were talking about if he will retire or when he will retire, that kind of thing. It's official. He's out of the league. He did, Raptors, I think, waived him. So, how do you feel about this news, Vaughn, and how his last year in the NBA went?
I don't think there'll ever be a day in my life where I like the Clippers franchise.
Yeah.
You can't do this to your like best player to ever play. Um, Like it's just 1 year, and he wants to be competitive. You couldn't just stick it out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
It's just it's such a sorry organization. And, I can't blame, Toronto for not wanting, actually suit up. I don't I don't think they have a need for him necessarily, but it would have been cool.
Yeah.
Um, like just last year would have been the perfect storybook ending. Especially we see him do that skills challenge with Wemby, trying to finesse the rules. Like that was such a Chris Paul thing to do, and now he wasn't, at All-Star weekend in any capacity. He not even really playing, and it just like a fizzle to an otherwise great career.
Yeah.
It is a huge disappointment, but I'm curious what to see what he'll do in the future and what capacity basketball will be in his life.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see how the relationship with the NBA is going to look for him. Is he going to be a commentator? Is he going to start a podcast? Will we ever see him at SoFi or not SoFi? What's it called?
Into it.
Intuit, yeah. Will we ever see him at Intuit ever again, bro? Because like he got done so dirty by that franchise. Like he really wanted to just finish out his career with his OG team. He, you know, was okay with the diminished role. It was obvious he was going to retire after this year. And then just to see him, get treated like garbage all season and then traded away. It's just sad to see, like, he didn't get a retirement tour. He didn't get, like, the love he should have received for how much he's done for that franchise. And I think it just shows that this franchise is a sorry ass franchise, bro. Like, it's just like how many times are we gonna see something with the Clippers? Like we had Donald Sterling, we had now the cheating scandal, the way they handle Chris Paul, Blake Griffin. Like in the first place, they already kind of did him dirty. Originally, they handled all of Lob City kind of scummy, and then to come back, he willingly comes back to your franchise, and then you do him dirty again, bro. It's just like this franchise is never gonna succeed, and I'm happy, bro. I'm glad this franchise will never succeed because they don't deserve success, bro. Like, how many times are you gonna do something scummy and expect to like? I don't know, bro. I just think it's wild. I'm happy for Chris Paul that he had such a great career, and kind of sucks they had to retire this year. But I am excited to see what the future may hold for him. I feel like he has such ball knowledge like that we don't really see from a lot of players. So whatever he does, I know it's going to be very interesting, and it's definitely something I would want to tune in. But I just feel like, yeah, what with the historic career that he's had, and just like every franchise he's went to, um, they like always leveled up, and you know there's so many historic runs he's had with the Clippers, and then um, taking the Suns to the finals after like years of being nothing but like a lottery team, and taking that team to the finals, and just like it's just been so interesting to see how it's all played out. And I'm sad to see it end the way it has, but like at the end of the day, I don't think it tarnishes his career. I think it just makes the Clippers look bad.
Yeah, and you know what? The guy has such a, storied career. Like we've seen Jeff T go on his podcast and tell stories. Chris Paul must have some crazy stories in his back pocket. So I don't know if he'll ever do like a podcast run, but there will be one day where he'll be illuminating some certain things. I think he would be itching to do that for the Clippers of all franchises. So
Yeah.
I'll sit and wait, but oh, that shit gonna be juicy.
Yeah, bro. Especially because he's seen it all, bro. He's seen it all. He was there for all the controversy. So it's just like I really wonder if he'll ever speak about anything or what he will do, or if he'll just kind of be a Tim Duncan and fade into into nothingness. And every once in a while, we see him reappear in the middle of Puerto Rico for no reason. Yeah. But yeah, a great career. Sad to see it end this way, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's not on him, and people are just gonna look back and just think of all the greatness he has achieved. All right. And then secondly, the other topic we're going to get into is Adam Silver has finally delved into his plans for anti-tanking rules. I know a lot of rumors have floated out onto what those could be. We finally have those rules out here. So, first one is first round picks can be protected only top 4 or top 14 plus. Um, Lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline or a later date. No longer allowing a team to pick top 4 in consecutive years and or after consecutive 3 bottom finishes. Uh, Teams can't pick the top 4 year after making the conference finals. Lottery odds allocated based on 2-year records, so not just that year, but your year from the past 2 years. And then lottery extended to include all play-in teams, and then flatten odds for all lottery teams. So pretty much, he's basically saying if you're bad, you're actually going to be punished too. I feel like that's the borderline. What I took away right off the bat is that if you're a bad team, you're gonna get the lottery odds. You're gonna have a chance to improve. But if you're too bad, you're gonna be punished for that. And that's kind of wild, dude. How do you feel about these rules? Does anything stand out to you right away?
First of all, this whole thing doesn't feel like it's being considered in good faith, considering Adam Silver was pressured by gambling companies of all people to, do something about tanking. I'm like, you've had all these years to do something about it, right?
Yeah,
But it's the gambling influence that just I don't feel any good about this. And when you're looking at the proposed solutions, it's like some of these are league changing and in some cases franchise ruining.
yeah,
Like if you're just bad, you're just going to stay bad forever. Like in the same way that a mediocre team like the Heat or the Bulls historically in like the past decade have just stayed mediocre, which that mediocre spot has been, the worst area you could be. Whereas, if you do suck and you do tank, commit to trying to get a good pick, you can at least have a future to plan around, like the Cooper Flag, the Wembys, the Paolo Bancheros.
yeah,
Um, like flattening the lottery odds for all teams is so ridiculous. Like we're
yeah,
just gonna just like based on OKC, they have so many picks, they could get a top lottery pick, um, by being lucky. And like I don't see how that is healthy for the league. Lottery extended to include all play-in teams. Like I thought the whole point of the play-in was to be more competitive to try get in the playoffs,
yeah.
and now it's kind of just it really doesn't matter because you could still luck out on a good pick. And then let's take a look at lottery odds allocated based on 2-year records. What that's such like a nothing change to combat tanking. I feel like
Yeah,
it's because like a bad team's just going to be a bad team. Same goes for the consecutive bottom finishes. Like I think that some of these proposed solutions, they're just thinking, oh, the Pacers right now, because like you can't pick top 4 after making conference finals. Like let's not just consider the Tyrese Halliburton injury. They lost Miles Turner, and if you watch them play, whether some players are missing or not, they are really bad right now. Um, and we're all kind of hoping, Tyrese Halliburton comes and fixes and they're a playoff team again.
yeah,
But it really is not guaranteed to be such a clean game plan. Like they could still be bad next year,
yeah,
just because of circumstances. And it's just so bizarre that we're just cooking up, very specific solutions to problems that honestly rarely even happen. I think the only one I would be okay with was the first one was the first round picks can only be protected only top four, top 14. And this is one of those specific solutions. Like the Jazz have a top eight protected, so they are truly trying to tank to get their pick this year. And it's like this doesn't always happen, but at the same time, it does reduce a little bit of that tanking. So I guess that's an okay solution to include.
Yeah.
Um, Lottery odds freeze at trade deadline. So this doesn't really fix teams wanting to tank. It just changes the time that they want to tank. They'll probably just do it sooner
Yeah.
rather than this current period. Um, yeah, bro, these are so counterintuitive to solving the solution. First of all, I don't think tanking even needs to be solved. The reduction of it, okay, I could see that, but who is going out here, at this point, February post All-Star break, looking at the bottom five teams in each conference and like that's prime time TV. I have to go watch these games, or the only reason I think people really would see these games are they're dedicated fans, or B, the tickets are cheap, and physically going to see a game
Hmm.
live, you're just gonna take that opportunity. But like a bad team should be a bad team, and you don't want this to last forever. You know, it's just the
Yeah.
whole like I'm just thinking the Jazz specifically. Jaren Jackson Jr. sit out the fourth quarter. Now he's out for the rest of the year, I think, for surgery. Allow that to happen. No one's watching that Jazz team, for enjoyment. It
Yeah.
is a brutal watch. Uh, but it's all just coming down to, prop bets. Like these gambling companies need to know ahead of time if coaches are going to sit best player for X amount of time. I think that's really what they want. But it's just something about the purity of sport is being ruined, being tarnished here. And I don't follow this as closely with other sports, because basketball is my number one sport, and I don't know if it's getting to this degree of influence in the game as much as basketball is,
Yeah. I'm not too
and it's
sure.
just concerning.
I'm not too sure why basketball has such a big focus on tanking. I think it's because, and I agree with most of what you said, but I don't agree with some things like the Jazz. I think the Jazz are one of the teams that they've been tanking for like what, six, not 6 years, let me chill out, but like at least 4 years now, bro. They've been tanking, and I feel like that puts a light on tanking when teams like the Jazz, who are like doing it year after year, hoarding picks. But I do agree with you in the sense of like these rules aren't what I'm thinking is the solution to that. Like these rules isn't the solution to teams like the Jazz and the Sixers who tanked for years on end, and haven't really done much or tried to do much. Um, but yeah, I think basketball, the only reason why that tanking is such a big focus is because teams are bad longer, and it's becoming more and more globally popular. I feel like football, they don't get as much complaints. In fact, teams like the Browns, who are historically bad year after year, don't ever get accused of tanking. Like, they're just bad. And, like, other teams like that are just bad. And it's like, okay, well, like, I'm sure they are just bad, but, like, nobody cares about football tanking. Nobody cares about hockey tanking. Baseball is the only other sport that actually do have teams who are bad on purpose, like the A's, and teams like that who are bad on purpose because they're trying to save money. But it's also not because they're trying to tank for a good pick. It's literally because the owner wants to pocket the money. So teams like the A's, and the Rockies, like they're purposely bad teams, but not for the sake of getting a high pick. It's for I'm gonna pocket all of the money I'm making, and I'm not gonna purchase any players or re-sign any players. So like I feel like that's the only other league that has an issue with bad teams as much as the NBA. I'm not too sure why tanking is the focus of that though. I feel like tanking doesn't happen as much as people think it is. It often is. It's just one team, one or two teams who just do it for a long time. You know, just like it's not necessarily all teams at the bottom are purposely like they tank halfway through the season and then they try to get better. It's very rare where we see the bottom teams like the Wizards, the Hornets, and the Pelicans tank for a very very long time. It's like no, it's usually one or two teams that do it for years on end before they actually try to start again. It's not really as big of a deal as I think people think it is. And if let's say you're one of those people who does think tanking is really really bad and ruining our sport, these rules are not the counter to that, bro. Like you said, the 2 year like the record based on the past 2 years, that's such a nothing burger, bro. Like, let's be honest, like that you can get that rule out and it won't change anything. It won't change tanking for the good, for better or worse. That
This is
rule
like one of those like specific instances. They're thinking the Spurs,
yeah.
right? Like Spurs got this. Like very luckily, like when is this ever gonna happen again? Like the
Exactly.
odds are so far away.
Yeah, and then of course, lottery odds flattened after again nothing burger. You can get rid of that rule. Nothing's gonna change. Conference finals. I can maybe see that happening. Like Warriors. It happened for the Warriors. It happened with the Pacers. But like again, you can get rid of that rule, and it's a nothing burger. Like it's not really gonna change for better or for worse. The part that I'm brutally against, and the reason why I think it's punishing teams is flatten odds, including play-in teams, and then you can't pick top four 3 years if you finish bottom 3 years in a row, or a bottom three team 2 years in a row, whatever it is. Um, so those three I think are gonna punish the bad teams more than it's gonna stop tanking, because let's be honest, bro. Look at the Hornets. Look at the Wizards. Those teams aren't tanking. Those teams are literally trying to be better, or not trying, but like they just been having bad luck, bro. Their star players are always injured. The moves they're making that think are going to help them are actually not helping them at all. They've been heavily involved with getting rookies and trade. Like the Wizards have been making a lot of trades these past 3 years. And it's just like those three rules are going to hurt them, because now that you're including playing teams, those playing teams have no reason to fucking like try anymore. Those playing teams have no reason to like fight for a playing spot. They can easily just, be just as mediocre, which hurts your odds. And then not only that, but flying the odds for all lottery teams. So you're telling me I'm gonna be bottom, I'm gonna be 15th in the East. I traded for, all these guys, and it still didn't work out for us. And now because of that, because you think tanking is such a big problem in our league, the team that finished seventh is gonna have just as much luck as getting the number one pick as me. Like that's kind of crazy. And then of course finishing consecutive bottom three. Again, the Hornets and the Wizards, I feel like they're one of those teams that are just bad. They're just straight up bad. And now they're not gonna get any better, because let's be honest, if that rule was implemented 4 years ago, the Hornets and the Wizards would be worse than they are now. They wouldn't even have a shot. Both teams have a shot at play-ins this year. If this rule already existed 3-4 years ago, they would still be 15th in the league. They would still be, 15th in the East and the West, because they would have none of the players that are helping them get better as of right now. The Hornets are finally having a chance at play-ins. The Wizards finally had some assets to actually build upon what they already have. If this rule was in place 4 years ago, the Wizards would have no assets to make any of the trades they made, and they would be just as bad, if not worse. And so I feel like those three rules are actually hurting teams rather than helping, or rather than stopping tanking. I agree with you. The only rule that actually stops tanking and doesn't hurt bad teams is a protected rule. Which again, let's be honest, the fact like realistically, yeah, you shouldn't be able to protect a top 8, top 10 pick. Like there's no reason why you're protecting every form of pick. Like, oh, I'm protecting my top 5, my top 8, my top 10. Like, no, bro. You either protect one or the other, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's just
I
it
think some of these
bothers
also
me.
would just create new issues that maybe the NBA does foresee or doesn't foresee.
Yeah.
Like the whole like flatten odds for all lottery teams. Like consider you're maybe in play-in, but a lottery team gets, just as equal a chance. I think that team would just tank just to be out playing into the lottery, and boom, now you could possibly get a very high pick next year because maybe their thought process is, oh, we get in play in. The chance we get into playoffs is low, but even if we do, we're a first round exit anyway. Just like
Yeah.
you might as well tank if you're like in that play in spot. So it's just like I don't think these are taken with full consideration of, what the future could look like. I think just feels like a knee jerk reaction to just Adam Silver pressured by the gambling companies, which is such a disappointment.
Yeah. And like I said, yeah, like there's teams that tank. But like I feel like people blow it out of proportion, bro. It's not as bad as people think it is. Like it really isn't. Like let's be honest, how many teams have been tanking the past 3 years? It's really only has been the Jazz. Like ever since the Thunder started getting good, they stopped it. So it really has only been the Jazz that have outright tanked. The Mavs maybe,
Right.
but like the Mavs only tanked because they screwed up. So it's just
Yeah.
like
Just now, are we seeing their game plan for wanting to be competitive again? Same with
yeah,
the Wizards with the AD trade. Like it took a lot of time to get a foundation laid out, and now they can try and be competitive again.
yeah.
We'll see if it works out in the end, but at least we know that they're not going to be tanking again next season.
Yeah, so it's just
Um,
like it's just head scratching. Like I really don't think it's as big as a deal as people think it is. All right. With that being said, we think there is a real problem in the league that the league has been trying to fix for years now, and it just hasn't been working. The All Star Weekend blows. It's getting worse and worse every year. um, I feel like at this point, people are starting to call for it to not be really a thing, just have the game. I even see people saying the dunk contest, like the probably like the most historic All Star event next to the home run derby. Like it's slam dunk contest and home run derby are like neck and neck for most important All Star event. People are saying that needs to go away because it's been so bad. So you know what? Me and Vaughn were like, it's time to step in. You know, Adam Silver, step aside. The pros are coming to fix the league. We've done this before with fixing the league as a whole, like changes we would make as a board of directors. Now we're fixing All Star Weekend specifically. Adam Silver gave us that bag. He's like, you guys are geniuses. Please fix my All Star Weekend. So me and Vaughn are stepping in to fix it. Where do you want to start, Vaughn? What do you think needs to be fixed first?
I will propose a solution that people have long been calling for, and it's the 1v1 tournament. Take that in place of the dunk contest because the dunk contest at this point, it's very rare we get a star player. People don't want to really do it, and what we've seen is, some of the worst dunks, like the Jackson Hayes normal one-handed rim grazing dunk, was just an embarrassment. So it just clearly doesn't show an interest from the players wanting to be involved in that. But at least in a 1v1, like Adam Silver is calling the league a highlight league. The 1v1 would produce highlights. Now, the only obstacle I would say is the player's ego. I don't know if they're scared of being embarrassed or not, but I think if you just implement it 1 year, you could see how competitive it really is. Like I just seen, WNBA players, I think it was unrivaled, do their 1v1. And they actually cared. They did not want to lose.
Yeah.
Like Paige Beckers was basically yelling at herself and stormed off the court. I'm like, that's someone who has a competitive drive, and I think that would be very good for the NBA. Um, Now I don't know how the format would take place if we are only picking NBA All Stars, because I'm not sure if every All Star would care to be involved, but at least key players from around the league could and should be involved, like the dunk contest. Like you don't always get all stars, but at least in this format you get something refreshing. We can't keep doing dunk contests, 3-point contests, and thank God they got rid of the skills contest. I thought that was a lot of wasted time cut out of the NBA program right there. So it feels like the natural thing to do at this point. And I've seen Adam Silver, I think, show interest in it. It's just a matter of implementing it.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I agree completely. Get rid of the dunk contest. It's getting to the point where like players don't want to do it. Like, and like they even like pushed out McClung because of how like he like players' egos are a big factor of the reason why a lot of these events are so bad. Um, I so 1v1 might work because I feel like at least with the all star with the dunk contest you need people who are like dunkers. With 1v1 you can like broaden the type of players you're getting for that tournament so much, bro. Like you don't like you can get like you know buckets like Cam Thomas versus like Cooper Flag, and just see like, okay, how much of a bucket is Cam Thomas really against one of the new faces of the league, and then you can also include people like Wemby and Giannis who seem to actually care about the competitive part of this weekend, of like people like Giannis and Wemby who like still take All Star Weekend seriously, and then like include them into it. So it's like I feel like the problem with the dunk contest is that like you kind of have a narrow aspect you have to hit. Okay, we get flashy dunkers. Oh, flashy dunkers don't want to do it. Well, who's kind of flashy? Oh, I guess Jackson Hayes can get up there. Like it's just like
Yeah.
now with the 1v1, you don't have to be so narrow. You can open it up. Like get some G League All Stars in there. Like you could do so much. Celebrities.
Bro, I did see I think it was Bill Simmons' podcast. Someone proposed they do it like a Royal Rumble type style, so you don't know who's next
Yeah,
after you beat someone,
King of the
and you stay
Court.
on the court until King of the Court. You stay on the court until you lose. So it'd be cool if there was a trophy for like a last man standing and one who took out the most players.
Yeah.
That could work, but having it be like you don't know who's going to show up next would be peak. I would say, because like they've never done anything like that, and Adam Silver loves implementing new stuff. So that would be a nice unexpected way to roll that out. I don't think they'd do it, but that would be my hope, my number one hope.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. On my other, so my suggestion, shorten it, shorten it, shorten it, shorten it. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's be honest, bro. How many people watch Saturday's All Star? Like, let's be even more honest, bro. The All Star Rising Stars Challenge is probably one of the best events on All Star Weekend. How many people actually watch the All Star Rising Challenge, bro? Like, let's be honest, it's one of the best events. I'm not gonna lie, I've been watching it every year because it has actually been good, and this is like the only time we see players try all weekend.
And I wouldn't know because I haven't seen it in the past 3 years or so. Because
Exactly.
it feels like it just disappears in the schedule.
It's on a Friday, just like randomly. It's like on a Friday, like a random time slot on like in the evening. Let's see what time it
Yeah, bro.
actually
Don't get
starts.
me don't get me started. They like started shifting, their schedule. So like I completely missed the 3-point contest because it was like 3 hours earlier than normal.
Yes,
So
bro. So I'm saying
that didn't feel advertised.
shorten it, bro. Instead of Friday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, make it Saturday, Sunday. and just have the events go on all day on those days. Saturday, break up the Rising Star games with the fucking 1v1 tournament 3-point contest, and then Sunday, break up that tournament with the celebrity game or whatever, or have the, whatever may be the case. I just feel like it doesn't need to be spread across 3 days, in the span of like 3 hours, because I feel like oftentimes people are missing events, people are skipping events because they don't have time. Like, no, bro, it doesn't need to be 3 days fucking crammed into 2 hours every day. Like, no, bro, make it an all day thing on Saturday and Sunday, and then so that way people actually can watch the events that nobody watches. I'm pretty sure if the Rising Stars Challenge was on Saturday, like evening, afternoon, whatever may be the case, nobody's at work. A basketball fan on a Saturday afternoon is probably gonna watch it. But a basketball fan on a Friday like evening, they're probably gonna go out. They're probably at work late. They're like, okay, well it's just a Rising Stars challenge, so I'm just gonna skip out on it today. I'd rather go get dinner with my family. Like, no, bro. If you put just two days, everything on those 2 days, make it kind of like a whole thing, like then people will actually tune into those underrated events. My other thing is Sunday can't just be All Star Tournament, bro. Because at the end of that tournament, those old geriatric motherfuckers were gassed, bro. They were so tired. And it's just like, you gotta realize right now, our All Stars, most of them are old as hell. Most of them are like, we have a lot of unks on Team USA. And so by the time it was a championship game, the first few games were competitive, and then it came to Team USA, and I think it was the World, and it was just like Team USA looked like they did not care anymore. Like those old ass fuckers were like over it by the end of that Sunday. So I feel like cramming everything between Saturday and Sunday, you can have the Rising Star Challenge, like, in the first half of the day, and then you can start the first part of the All Star tournament on Saturday. Or Sunday All Star tournament, start it earlier in the day, Rising Stars versus World or whatever they do, and then have it broken up with that celebrity game, so that way they have time to like just chill and hang out. Just something, so that way that's not like, okay, now it's this part of the tournament, now it's this part of the tournament, now it's this part of the tournament. Oh, we're at the finals, and LeBron and KD and Curry, who are 40 years old, are gassed and like aren't trying anymore, and Wemby's the only one who's actually trying because he's 20 something and still has the energy to go that long. It's just like, I just feel like cramming it all in like 2 hours on 3 days is just hurting it, bro. Just make it 2 days. Friday, nothing needs to happen Friday. Let them get there. Let it just be a media day or something, bro. I don't know. That's just my thought.
Right. It was also pretty confusing how the All Star game was working because I didn't know how it was other than they had two Team USA's and a World.
And then some winners of the
But
Rising Stars Challenge.
yeah, and it would be like scheduled where like a winner would go and play another game like immediately after. So
Yeah,
that
bro.
probably also didn't help. But overall, I think that format did help this year for the first three games. Like those were very competitive. Like we got a buzzer beater game winner by De'Aaron Fox. Like that was crazy.
Yeah.
But that championship game was the weakest of them all because, like you said, they're all tired as hell. Um, I have a problem with like whenever we got a new format, like the novelty of it is very interesting, and it could be very competitive like it was this year. But the following year, it always drops off in that same spirit. So I'm hoping that Wemby, because I feel like Wemby was a big piece of this, being competitive in the first place. Like he was actually trying hard as hell out there. So if we see him in next year, I hope he can carry that same spirit. Because that was three-quarters of it was very good.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that scheduling, they got to work that out. For my next, how we're gonna fix it. Stop forcing celebrities to be involved in the events. I'm not talking about like the celebrity all-star game. I'm talking about like Drewski passing, Scotty Barnes to do like the 3-point event. Like it feels very forced. Especially last year, there was the Mr. Beast challenge
Yeah,
That
that was awful.
I didn't get any entertainment. I didn't get any entertainment out of that. It feels very I don't know, like when a corporation has a social media account and they're doing a trend. It's that same kind of vibe. Like this doesn't feel very natural, and some players aren't really into it as much as others, and it's very palpable. You could feel it. You could see it on screen, and I just cut that out. Especially like when you do like, oh, we have the starry 3-point ball. I know it's a sponsor, but we already have to deal with that. We don't need Drewski trying to make the event about himself.
Yeah.
As funny as he could be, it's not right for this environment.
Yeah, I agree, bro. The celebrity aspect of it all has gotten way overboard. Because I think there's like been a celebrity part of it for almost every event. Like it's gotten crazy. Um, I think I think the thing with the NBA right now is like what you mentioned at the very top of the show is that Adam Silver says this is a or the very top of this league topic is that Adam Silver says it's a highlight league. And I feel like All Star Weekend is like him pushing that aspect, bro. Because I saw more clips of Obama talking to Ant than I did of any other thing, bro. And it's just like, we get it, bro. The celebrities are there, the celebrities are out. But if you want the celebrities to be involved so much, like, have it be in the All Star game. Like we don't like not the like
Right.
the celebrity All Star game. Maybe have the NBA players get involved with that part of it, and not the celebrities getting involved with the NBA events, bro. Like it just doesn't make sense to have Drewski and things and the Mr. Beast challenge, and then like I think one year it was like um
There was like a YouTuber was part of the dunk contest panel, like judging
yeah,
panel, I think at one
yeah,
point.
and then
Uh,
like
and they're cooking up something else in the future. Like I don't know what it is, but they want something.
yeah, and then we also have like Kevin Hart on the bench during like an All Star game not too long ago, and it's just like we get it, bro. The NBA is
Yeah, bro.
growing.
Even like last All-Star game was like there's like a farewell thing for the TNT crew
Yeah,
that took way too damn long. And you know what? They're still here, just in a different network.
yeah, just a
So it's
different
just a waste
network.
of time, really. And it just reminds me, flashing all these celebrities, how empty those seats were at some points,
Yeah,
especially for like the dunk contest event. Like, yeah, those celebrities there because no one else can afford the tickets. It's it's a grim reminder.
no, it really is a grim reminder because it's just like you pan to these celebrities, you pan to the crowd, you like do these wacky things during these events, and it's like, oh yeah, this event this weekend is really losing all of its respect. Like that's really what it feels like. Is that this event is really losing all meanings of respect and competitiveness, and it's really just become like a 3 day like media press like media run, bro. Like
Right, like I heard the NBA sponsored like 3,000 social media influencers to come cover the All-Star weekend. And like yeah, I could see it plastered all over, Instagram and even Twitch streams,
yeah,
but I didn't think the weekend was any better because of it. Like yeah, sure the exposure is nice for them, but like you're exposing how bad a dunk contest is really. It's just if you're gonna do that, you have to be, present an actual All-Star weekend worth of all this attention. It really hasn't felt like that.
yeah, it's just yeah. I feel like you hit that point spot on. All right, the next thing I'm going to fix, and it's not really something I feel like it needs to be hit on right away, but stop pushing these like team things. Like I feel like every event now has a team. It's like the Rising Star is like Team Mello, Team Blank, Team Blank. The All Star tournament was Team Blank, Team Blank, Team Blank. There was the Kia Shooting Stars thing, and it was like they had their teams, and it's just like, bro, not everything needs to be a group of guys coached by a celebrity or some form of legend. Like, I don't know. I feel like it just feels very like not it feels like they're trying to do that schoolyard thing that a lot of people have been asking for, like, oh, like do more schoolyard events like knockout and king of the court and horse. But it's like, okay, maybe what if we do that, but instead of actually doing those parts, we say Mello coach a bunch of five guys, but like don't actually do anything, just stand on the sideline and and just be a
Yeah.
figurehead for this event. It's just like, no, bro. I feel like not everything needs to be a team blank. So I'm officially cutting out uh, any form of skill challenge, any form of that, bro. That just needs to straight up go. I don't care if you're replacing it with something else. I don't even know what the Kia Shooting Stars challenge is. I skipped that. I dead ass just didn't watch that, so I have no idea what that event was because I was like, "What's Kia Shooting Stars?" I never heard of that in my life. I just know it was Team whatever. Oh, it was Team Camerons versus Team Knicks. Team Camerons, bro. Is this what we have succumbed to? Is this what we have? Is this what we're doing now? What if we did a skills challenge knockoff, but instead of doing, Wemby and Chris Paul, we do three guys named Cameron. Genius shit, bro. Genius. They're really innovating for All Star Weekend. No, bro, just cut out any form of that. Nobody watches it. Nobody cares. It's like, again, you're having these guys who are paid millions who barely care about the big events participating in these smaller events too. And it's just like you can tell that they already kind of don't want to be there. Their break in their season is literally just them doing more basketball. So just nick it.
Yeah, like especially some of these stuff make some of the events more confusing.
Yeah.
Uh, Whether it could just have like a simpler format. It's just how is anyone really supposed to root for any of these teams? Like who? I guess a guy named Cameron is rooting for Team Cameron. It's just there's never like a stake in it, like for not just a fan, but if someone just turned on, oh, it's NBA Star Weekend, why would they care?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just it does feel like a lost effort. But yeah, I do agree with you for the most part. Like I think the All Star format, it always changes and whatever. Like that is fine whenever they do change it. Like this being Team USA, Stars and Stripes, and then World and whatever
Yeah.
that worked this year. But like I said, next year will probably fall off in interest and competitiveness, but we'll see.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, the whole team thing, it could go for the
Yeah.
most part. Yeah, it could go. Um, Speaking of, schoolyard type events, I feel like there's not a whole lot of wiggle room outside of that. So I'm like, I think I've suggested something like this before, but like some sort of fan involved gauntlet where like maybe they got to make 20 free throws before this NBA player makes 30 three-pointers, and maybe they got different spots on the court for different shots, and just like you run that gauntlet of fans, and maybe if the fans make their goal before the NBA player, the next NBA player comes out and they have to beat him, and based on
Hmm.
how many NBA players they get, maybe they get money for it. I don't know. Uh, but some sort of fan event that isn't Mr. Beast. I would rather it just be more NBA player oriented if there's going to be a fan event. Um, but yeah, something like that to get involved because it would be so satisfying if KD of all people lost to like Greg, who just showed up for the weekend, and just especially like after the KD. Oh, bro, we never talked about the KD leaks,
Oh yeah, the
the burner
KD
account.
leaks. That was
Yeah, that would have been
awkward, bro.
perfect. The shit, bro. He's such a shitty guy, man. The stuff he was saying about his teammates, his drone company, it was wild, man. But yeah, going back to the fan thing, it just that's going to be a highlight forever. Whether a fan wins or loses, and that's going to make their day.
Yeah.
So highlight league, might as well throw in some more fun highlights in there.
Yeah, actually, that was my next thing was more fan involvement. I think one year they did a thing where like the fans could vote. I think it was with the YouTuber guy, like the YouTuber, like he was like the voice of the fans. But I feel like that was not really what it was. That's what they said it was, but I don't think it was just a way to get a influencer on our
Yeah,
TV screen. No, bro, bring like an NBA figurehead. Bring like I'm just trying to think of a funny like like just bring in like any like funny NBA guy and have him represent the fans and just have like be able to like vote on our NBA app on what we thought that and then like cuz like more fan involvement would just be so fun. Just like okay, for this thing like, during the celebrity all-star game, okay, all free throws are shot by fans. Like and so like this celebrity team has this set of five fans and this celebrity team has this set of five fans and like and during the celebrity all-star game all free throws are shot by a fan from team blank or blank, or the dunk contest has fans involvement. I think one year they did where like they played for a charity they selected. That kind of went away pretty quickly. I don't even do they still do that.
I don't remember the last time they did.
Yeah, because like they had the thing where you played for a charity, and I feel like that was really cool, and it did make people care. Maybe for 2 seasons, but like still, that was really fun. Um, but I just feel like having more fans involved would just be make it more of a fun event rather than like you know just another like all Star weekend. Like you said, we can get some very legendary clips out of fan involvement. Like you said, Greg beating KD would be an all time clip, which I feel like we should talk about, bro. We should talk about the KD leaks. Just because my next topic was kind of piggybacking off of yours. Just like I had written down fan involvement, so we agree there. But I can't believe we glossed over this. Yeah, bro. So KD's like Twitter group chat got leaked, and what doesn't help is that when like this was happening during All Star Weekend when his chat got leaked, and already people were already kind of pointing out how he was on his phone every time the camera was on him. That man was on his fucking phone, and so people were already kind of pointing that out. And then the leaks happened, and they're like, no wonder this man is always on his phone. He has no real friends. His friends are random strangers on Twitter that he could just complain to. And it's just like, it's so sad, bro. It's honestly so sad that this is like a 30 something year old man, no wife, no kids, and his only friends are Twitter stan accounts.
Because he's talking shit about every teammate he ever has ever. Like Kyrie is in there, Harden is on there, Ben Simmons is on there, and every like Jabari Smith is getting dragged through the mud.
Yeah, bro.
Sengun is getting called an idiot. It's so nuts, but like unsurprising. It's like to this point. It is funny. He was asked about it, and he never denied it. He just said, "Oh, I just don't try to get involved in that Twitter stuff." Mister Twitter Fingers himself.
Yeah, bro.
That's what he said. Oh, I try not to get involved in Twitter. This man who has, you could make a highlight reel of him interacting with fans on Twitter.
Yeah.
Um, so he's very guilty. And I think I saw a report that I didn't even know he had a media company, but like he fired a bunch of like the media and entertainment personnel in that company. So I don't know if that's related or not, but maybe one of them leaked it. I have no clue. But
Yeah.
it seems very suspicious for that to be a follow up to the leaks and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but bro, like this has already happened before. Like he was exposed for having alt accounts, talking shit and stuff. But
Yeah,
he never learned his lesson. It's just so insane to me that he's a human being, that he acts like this. Like
yeah, grown man.
it didn't work. Like there's like 20-year-olds in the league right now who have like wife and kids and just seem more responsible. Um, but KD, he's got to air out his thoughts to random strangers, I guess.
Yeah, bro, and it's wild because it's just nothing but finger pointing, and it's just like it's just some wild takes. Like at least I think one thing was like I like something about Ben Simmons, but he followed it up with, but at least he knew how to get me the ball. And it's just like, come on, bro, come on. This is so yeah. And like you said, it has happened before, but I feel like this is way worse because before at least it was like burner accounts to defend himself or like
Yeah.
trash talk with fans. This is a burner account to be in a Twitter group chat where all you're doing is just complaining with strangers, bro. Like surrounding your and like it wouldn't be as bad if it was like maybe like influencers or like NBA Twitter heads. Like no, bro, it was like random stan accounts that he was like in this group chat with, and it's like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing, bro? I'd like be a normal person and have a solo podcast. Like we make fun of Draymond Green, but like at least he's like not hiding behind a Twitter account and like just venting to like losers. Like I'm pretty sure most of the people he's venting to are losers themselves. And so like at least with Draymond Green's podcast, he's putting it all out there for the world to see. With KD, it's just like he's hiding behind a screen, just venting to strangers and then you cut to him all Star Weekend, and that phone is in his hand the entire time, bro. Not a single time was he like during the like lineup announcement, he's on his phone and he looks up from it. Like, what are we doing, bro? Put the phone down. You need help, brother.
It's just like he's such a good player for so long.
Mm,
Why does he need to validate himself to these people?
yeah.
It's never made sense to me.
Mm,
But like you said, this leak is way worse because it just sounds like he has a crazy ego. Like
yeah.
none of them are like him admitting fault to anything. Like some of these teams have lost and he has not been, top of his game. Um, but it's like always someone else's fault, apparently.
Hmm.
Uh, why should I have expected anything different though? Like he has been a Twitter troll his whole career, it feels like. Uh, so this just kind of feels inevitable.
Yeah, bro. All right. I guess because I piggybacked off of your topic, I want to kind of go into another one, and this is probably my last one that I have. But stop relying, and this kind of culminates with the KD thing. Stop relying on these big stars to carry your All Star weekend, bro. Like LeBron didn't even show up for a lot of stuff this year. KD was uninterested in hell. Like I feel like they're trying to force the stars into a lot of things. They're trying to like make it about you're gonna see the faces of the league. No, bro. I feel like the thing that other All Star games do well is they focus on everybody. They try to get everybody involved, whether it's like the home run derby or the NHL like All Star Weekend last year had like Michael Bublé as a coach and like I don't know like they just don't focus on like the big names and only push it because it's like the greats are here. Like no, bro, with something with the 1v1 tournament, uh, kind of like schoolyard picks or just like the Rising Stars Challenge. There's such an opportunity to get more personalities out there to the world and elevate your league so much more. Like we have talent at every level that like I feel like they're missing out on media day and just the All Star Weekend in general, it seems like they're just focusing on like 3 or 4 players, and it's like everyone else is kind of not really focused on as much or kind of pushed to the wayside. Like and is one of your biggest personalities. I understand he's scary. You never know what he might say, but like at the same time, I feel like he got less camera time than like most people did. More less than KD on his phone, or less than LeBron, who looked like he did not want to be there, bro. Like it's just like you have a chance to elevate everyone in your league, and it's just like stop focusing on four guys and like mic up everybody, get everyone on the camera, like do interviews with like every part of this, like do an interview with the Rising Stars winners, the Rising Stars losers, like I just feel like there's a chance to elevate the personalities of the NBA, and they just don't. They just focus on three guys. They pull out the same three clips multiple times on their different media accounts, and it's just like you're missing out, bro. If you bring out the one on ones, if you bring out the schoolyard plays, if you mic up everybody, then like other guys might get some shine and that actually bring some eyes to your event.
Right, like a 1v1 with not just the all stars, but the rising stars, and maybe even some legends of some sorts. That
Yeah,
would, yeah, just some more involvement where everyone is all together versus like, oh, LeBron's here. We're all gonna like circle around LeBron and try to get something out of him. It does feel like some of those guys are there, and it looks like work to them,
yeah,
and it is supposed to be a fun weekend, and you just don't get that vibe from them.
yeah.
So yeah, maybe it's up to media to do better, or maybe the NBA can arrange, more events that bring them closer. So yeah, that would be nice to see. I don't really have a new thing. I kind of ran through my things already. So yeah, I think if they take one thing away, it should be get rid of dunk contest and throw in a new event.
Yeah.
It's something to shake that up because that shit is getting embarrassing at a certain point. So yeah, that's all I really got.
Same, yeah, same. That last one I wasn't even gonna include at first, but then we kind of had the same answer for the fan thing. So yeah, I don't really have much more. All Star Weekend, as bad as it is, it's still one of the more popular ones in America. I feel like it's MLB, NBA, and then like the other ones are kind of down there. So I feel like it's kind of sad to see us getting clowned year after year. It just gets worse and worse. Um, I see a lot of ideas.
Oh, did we ever? I don't know if it was an All Star Game episode or not. Have we ever mentioned bringing to in like a non NBA city before?
Uh,
Like maybe they could be the host at one point, because I know the NBA themselves have said like we're not going to do like Indiana for an all-star host city anymore because the hotels were completely booked and the airport was packed. They didn't have the support for an all-star weekend as much as they had hoped, so they cut down the list of cities that are even eligible, I think, or plan to.
I
I
didn't know
can't
that.
remember. So that now we got less of a pool of cities to pick from. But if they expand that to non NBA team cities, maybe we can get some joy there and generate interest, for an expansion team or two.
True, true,
Wink, wink.
true, true. I mean, yeah, I didn't even think about that because yeah, it's kind of wild. You'll never see it. I don't think you'll ever see it in Cleveland ever again. like,
Probably not.
and so like yeah, it would be kind of cool to go outside of like L.A., Atlanta, like just kind of just Seattle, Vegas, bro. Like I feel like you could have done Vegas already. Like,
Yeah.
like Vegas, that's where you hold your play-in tournament, hold your All Star weekend there. So yeah, that would be kind of cool. I've
What global? It's a global sport basketball. Maybe they throw it overseas somewhere. You
Tokyo,
never know.
Tokyo,
True, that would go crazy.
Mexico City, fucking Hong Kong.
Yeah, you know what? Here's my proposal. No
Guam.
NBA city can host the NBA All-Star game. It's got to be somewhere else.
That'd be
It just
crazy to get
forces them
creative.
to, yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that would be kind of wild. Yeah, just to kind of piggyback of popular ideas, because there's a lot of popular ideas that like I didn't want to like steal from. I think I've seen like involve the G League way more, like have the G League All Stars versus the rookies. I've seen like that kind of thing. I've seen retired players get involved more, like having like a retired player like tournament or retired players in celebrity games. There's a lot of ideas out there, and a lot of them are good. It's just like I feel like the biggest problem with our All Star Weekend is NBA players are a lot more full of themselves than any other sport, bro.
Oh, bro.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's just I hate to admit it, bro. It's my favorite sport, but NBA players are less likable than any other player, bro. It's just facts,
Yeah.
bro. And they don't care. And it's like at the end of the day, we can throw out ideas as much as we want, but if they don't want to do it, it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, they're worth hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars, not thousands, millions of dollars. And they know it. And they know if they really are going 110% out there, they risk injury. Maybe it costs them a future contract. But at some point, like when is enough enough?
Yeah.
Like how much is that risk to you? How much is that money worth to you? Um, that just definitely weighs into it. I think an idea I scrapped was having like an exhibition game of overseas players play against some of the all stars, and some maybe it's like a 3v3 format or whatever.
That'd be cool.
But I don't think NBA players would go down for that, because I really do think those overseas players would be trying their hardest. This would be a showcase. Oh, I can play with NBA players as well. Whereas the All Star is probably going to go half effort. So that's just the one thing I scrap.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too sure. How if it will be fixed anytime soon. Hopefully it will be. I feel like it used to be such a fun event, and it's just losing more and more of that glamour and that shine it had. It's looking a little bit rusty and outdated. I feel like events need to be switched up. Who's involved needs to be switched up. The reliance on celebrities, the reliance on guys who don't want to really be there. I just feel like we just need to like make it more of an event rather than a showcase for like. I just feel like it's not an event anymore, bro. It's mostly a place for celebrities to meet NBA players. Like that's really what it's become. All right. Well, that's all we have for you.
Oh, one thing, stay safe, Charlotte. I heard Lamella Ball is out driving again.
That's crazy, bro. I saw something about that like people in Charlotte talk about LaMelo Ball as if he's the fucking Joker, bro. Like,
Bro, he has a highlight reel of him like running red lights or turning when he's not supposed to or nearly hitting someone. It's crazy. I believe him, man.
no, it's wild. Like the amount of like stories and comments on like those videos of like, yeah, one day I was leaving a Hornets game and LaMelo Ball looked me dead in the eye as he blew a stop sign. Like it's like they like it's like the city of Charlotte is afraid when they're in town, bro, because he's such an awful driver.
He's like a villain in Gotham City. Like you got to be watching out.
Yeah, he really is just a Joker on the road. It's wild. Um, but yeah, bro, I feel like there's more stuff we could have gone over just kind of with the conference. Like I think Adam Silver said something about getting rid of free agents for like making rookies free agents and
Oh yeah, that's crazy, bro. Like, well then I guess we're just have bidding wars for the number one pick. Like that's
yeah,
crazy. Like that's earth shattering for the league. Like
yeah.
him just suggesting it is scary.
Yeah, rookies as free agents, and there was a point where he was like a tournament for draft picks, and it's just like this man is turning everything into a tournament, bro. All Star Weekend tournament, play-in tournament, uh,
In season
end
tournament.
season tournament. You know what? I have a crazy idea. Tournament for the picks. Like it's just like this man's Teddy Long with the Undertaker, one on one with the Undertaker player. He's like, you want to sign this rookie? You had to win a tournament for him. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of ideas he threw out, or rumored ideas he threw out during All Star Weekend too, that were kind of crazy. Um, I think what we ended up getting is bad, but like at the same time, unrestricted like free agent rookies and a tournament for the draft picks, I feel like are kind of worse. So, you know what? You if you really wanna fix anti tanking, bring in relegation. But with that being said,
True. Tournament tournament for the relegated teams to get promoted
yeah,
to the actual NBA team.
I,
There we go.
I want
Another
the
tournament.
El Paso Chihuahuas to be in the NBA 2 years from now.
We've been asking for league expansion, and this is how it's going to look.
That's how it's gonna look. All right, guys. Shorter episode today. We just, we wanted to make sure to get something out there. But if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. We're also on all podcast platforms for audio format, so make sure you give us that good old 5 stars. Leave a review if you're listening to us there. Let us know what you would do to fix All Star Weekend. Do you think it's fixable? Let us know in the comments below. But we're also on all social media platforms at Spin No Rocks, so make sure you follow us there for clips, episode updates, and all that good stuff. We appreciate you for tuning in. We'll see you again next week.